So this is today's project. This is a 26-inch beach cruiser. I don't think it's branded anywhere. It has a Huffy seat on it. Doesn't mean that it's a Huffy, but it definitely does have the signs of being a big box bike. So maybe it's a Huffy. So I got on the side of the road last night. It was just sitting there along with some other garbage. And yeah, I thought it'd be a cool little project to do this morning. So we're going to put a new chain on it, do some bearing work on the crank down here, I'm sure. The rear tire is holding air, or the tube, I should say, and the tire, it has a little bit of cracking, but not nearly as bad as this front one. So I'm going to put a spare on the front, clean it up, new grips, and then call it at that. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of money, especially in these types of bikes. So I was looking on Amazon, and 2 tires, 2 tubes, and the 2 tire levers that come in this pack was nearly $40. It was like $36. So $36 there. A new chain would be 10, puts us at like 46. The grips, couple dollars worth of grips there. So it's going to be $50 in parts just to get this thing fully functional in that regard. And that's if there's no other issues. Obviously, like in this case, the seat's still nice. You didn't have to buy a new seat, but the cost of the parts alone, let alone just the labor. I mean, the labor here for me doing it would be free, but if somebody else did it for you, you might as well buy a new one. So unfortunately, the throwaway bike concept is still very real because it just costs more to upkeep and replace these parts than it is just to buy a new one. So that's why you see a bunch of them on the side of the road or on Marketplace when people just neglect them and it's time for a new one. It's just unfortunately more economical to go buy a new one. So I'll stop talking. Let's get going on this thing. So I'm going to pull out my chain breaker and we'll get cracking here. So this might be able to be saved. It's got a bunch of surface rust on it, but I do have a spare chain that I want to just get rid of as well. And it was from that clunker bike I had done a while back. Update on that one. Still isn't sold. I priced it pretty aggressively. So to me, given everything that was on it, the new chain, the tubes, the brand new tires, the cables, like the whole thing obviously was redone. I put it for, I think 160 or so, hoping to at least get 140 out of it. Nobody bit. Everybody thinks that anything posted on like Marketplace or OfferUp is in this condition, even though you put a great photo set, a great description talking about all the great things you've done to it. And I should pause. What I'm doing here is I'm removing the other outer links from this side of the chain because the chain was pretty good in terms of the sizing. And I'm just going to do a quick and dirty remeasurement where I'll lay this chain out next to the spare chain I have and then match it link for link. So that's why I'm doing that extra step here. But anyways, back to the clunker. Like I said, I posted it for 160, hoping to get like 150, 140 out of it, and nobody was biting. So I've been riding it around, enjoying it. We had yard sale weekend. I rode it around. A bunch of people were giving me compliments on it, especially the older dudes for some reason really liked it. I think it's the combination of the big tires and just its stance in person they really like. And I told an old guy or one of the older gentlemen that had asked about it that it was for sale. He kind of balked at the price and explained it to him that rebuild them, went through everything, like, and that's a good deal considering if you went to a bike shop, probably be $300. But can't explain that to people anymore, unfortunately. So I'm going to try and show you. You can see tires separated right here. So we're definitely going to have to get rid of this one. And then the tube, I tried putting air into it, and no surprise, it was leaking or punctured somewhere. So not going to be able to reuse that, but is what it is. So nice and crunchy. So let's just get these pedals off. Hopefully we can get these pedals off. See if I could do this without blocking you. Oh man. All right, so I was finally able to get the pedal off. Took a bit of brute force. See how just nasty and crusty this whole thing is. Trying to just scrape some of this off. But you can see here, it's moving, but it's crunchy. You're probably not hearing it, but it's a bit crunchy. So if you don't have one of these flat wrenches, open-ended wrenches, you could still just use an adjustable one. It might be a little more clumsy. If you have a thinner one, that'd be great. But they do sell these online. I can get this in here. Oh my God, Jesus. All right, so I got it loose. Let's see here. It's getting caught up on the threads a little bit too. So I'm going to take the lock nut off. Then I'm going to come in here, and there's a washer. And then it's hard to see, again, because there's so much gunk. But there's two channels on the side here of the cone, because this is the cone. There's one. And you can use a screwdriver to get in there. There's probably a tool for this, but at this point you could just spin them out freely. And it's opposite in this case, so it looks like I'm tightening, but I am loosening it. And part of the reason for this is the forces involved of pedaling. You're going forward, so you're going counterclockwise. The opposing torque is going to want to go clockwise. There we go. And so going back to all of that, the reasoning behind it is that it keeps it secure for you while you're pedaling. This thing is dirty, but there is some good grease in here actually. Let's see if I could show you. It's not caked up, but we are going to run this through the ultrasonic cleaner, clean everything out, and then put it back together. All right, so everything's gone through the ultrasonic cleaner. You can see the results here. Still kind of hot, but cleaned off all the old grease. I'm not doing anything with the crank itself. It's going to be a lot of work to clean up and get rid of all this other gunk that's on it, but we will give it a good wash once we take it outside. So all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put a bead. Actually, I didn't clean the race on this side. Let's at least clean this. There we go. So I'm going to put a new bead of grease along the inside. And I'm going to put one of our bearings in. Okay, and then I'm going to top it off with some more grease. I was assuming you could see that. If not, I apologize. So I'm going to do that. Get some on this side, and then the race on the other side I will be greasing as well. Similar to this. Oh, this grease gun's going to be the death of me today. All right, so the grease gun was fighting me. So I ended up just getting the cones in, obviously the grease and everything. There goes that washer. It's probably some sort of like a lock washer based on that channel. And then I'm going to get the actual lock nut threaded here. Take my wrench. Tighten it up. Now that's too tight on the the cone itself. So what I'm going to do is back that off, and then I'm going to adjust the cone. I was able to do it with my finger here. And then let's try it again. It's better. Let's check for play. A little bit of play, so let's get it right. Slightly adjust it there. Tighten it up. Check for play again. No play. Much smoother, not crunchy at all. And back you up here. I've also put the front wheel on. You see, it looks like it's new. It's not. It's a new used for sure. But that's spinning freely. So now we can put the chain back on. So I'm going to do this part off camera, but I have the old chain and the spare chain. I have them together here. And what I was talking about earlier is getting them to line up exactly. Is you put them together like this, and you make sure that link for link, like you can see here, this chain's already stretched a little beyond this one. But where they meet up towards the bottom, it lines up exactly, and that's where you cut your new, or in this case, the spare chain, and then the new master link will go in between, and that's an easy way to do it. All right, so I've put the used chain on, our new used chain. You can see it here. And the bike's done. So let's walk through it real quick. I'm gonna walk around here. So spare tire, couple dollars of value. Honestly, if somebody was just poking around the garage and had seen it, I probably would have just told them take it for free. But let's say $2 there. Spare chain, a couple more dollars. I mean, it was used, so it's not like it was a brand new one I had lying around. One inner tube. So let's see, 2, 4. That makes another 4, so 8. I put new grips on, probably $2. So let's call it $10. $10 in parts, half hour in labor. So there you go, $40 bike. Hopefully that's what we'll get for it. Honestly, it's probably not worth much more than that. And a couple years ago, I probably would have just taken the free bike and simply reposted it and made $10, which maybe I still should have done here. But if you're also looking for like parts bikes and stuff and you see it, this one had a good seat. Is $20 like on Amazon if you want to get a seat of this similar style. So that'll save you some money. If the pedals are decent, that could save you up to $8 to $10. And if the rims are in good shape too, this is what people overlook a lot. Getting cheap rims online is not really possible. You're going to spend a bunch of money, and so you can go and just cannibalize them from another bike of similar style or width for the axles, which is a little tougher. So it might be hit or miss depending on your application. But the wheel set alone, if they're in good shape and true and not too corroded, could be $20 in itself. So a lot of bikes too over the years, I've simply gutted, taken the parts for. You go again, like the bearings, the lock nut, even the stupid kickstand. A lot of money just in the parts. So I'm gonna clean it up a little more outside, give it a good rinse off, post it, and then we'll be on our way.